Kata that we will cover today on the first tape is Naihanchi 1, or Naihanchi Pinyon Shodan, and Pinyon Nidan. These kata are very well known in Okinawa and worked by a majority of the Okinawan and Japanese systems. The particular kata that we are working today are the kata of the Seito Matsumura-ru, Matsumura Shorin system. Seito stands for Orthodox. Presently, this system today is taught by Sensei Yuichi Kuda. Behind me on the wall is a my sensei lineage chart, and it'll show you possibly the growth of the Shorin system that we work today in Okinawa with some of the teachers. On the top of any chart in karate lineage in Okinawa appears the name of Tode Sakugawa. The Okinawans in the Hogan dialect pronounce this Todi Sakuga. He was more or less the one that everyone in Okinawa gives credit to in starting Okinawa Te, or Okinawa in Hands. His most famous student, and the most famous student of Okinawan karate, who probably trained more people than any other one individual in Okinawa, was Sakon Matsumura, the Bushi warrior. He's the one that first called this Shorin-ru, of the many styles that they have today in Okinawa, Shorin-ru. On this particular chart, all I'm doing is following my sensei lineage back. Sakon Matsumura is responsible for most of the Shorin-ru systems, or all of the Shorin-ru systems in karate today. Following this chart from Sakugawa to Matsumura, we come down to Nabe Matsumura. He was the grandson of the Bushi warrior, and this is where the family system, or the orthodox system of Matsumura Shorin-ru started. Nabe Tani Matsumura, sometimes called. Matsumura had a nephew. His name was Hohan Soken. Master Soken lived to be in his middle 80s and just died in the late 70s. He is the one that developed the name Seito Matsumura-ru. So here it comes with a family genealogy going back. Hohan Soken, the nephew of Nabe Matsumura, who was the grandson of the Bushi warrior Sakon Matsumura. Like this. Matsumura today, Hohan Soken today, has several people that studied underneath him. The three main ones in Okinawa today are, and a senior student, Siki Arakaki, and he calls his system Matsumura Shorin-ru. Yuichi Kuda, he calls his style Matsumura Kempo, and Fusei Kisei, who has named his style Kishinkan. Now, let's take it again. From here down to Master Soken, to his three main students today that carry on his style system. Let's go to the pictures, and I'll show you who we're talking about. First, we're going to talk about Matsumura Nabe, Hohan Soken, and Yuichi Kuda. On the left side over here is Nabe Matsumura, the person that called the style system of his grandfather, Matsumura Shorin-ru. Next to him, his nephew, Hohan Soken, who continued the family system. Next to him, my present teacher, Yuichi Kuda. Mr. Kuda, before he studied with Mr. Soken, studied with another master who developed the style of Okinawan Kempo. His name was Nakamura Shiguro Nakamura Sensei. He is dead today. My other teachers that I had in the past, myself, before Mr. Kuda, were Richard Kim in Japan, Friar's Gym, Sensei Robert Trias, the director of the United States Karate Association, and Adriano Emperado, the founder and director of the International Kaji Kimbo Association in Hawaii. I also studied with Yushiro Kawaguchi in Yokohama, Japan. Let's go back to the chart, and we'll follow this up. As I said before, Kuda was a student of Soken. Kuda also, before he went with Soken, was a student of Shiguro Nakamura, who founded Okinawan Kempo. Sensei Nakamura's teachers were Kuniyoshi Shinkichi and Sakayama Yoshiro. They give the last names first in the Orient for some reason. I don't know why, they're different than we are. Coming down with Master Kuda. As I said, I studied in Japan under Richard Kim, who fires Jim in Yokohama, and Yoshiro Kawaguchi, 4.5 Street in Yokohama. After I left Japan and was stationed in Hawaii, I was a student of Adriano Imperato in Waiawa, Hawaii. When I got out of the service in 1960, I joined Master Robert Atrius, who is the present United States Karate Association Director. I served as his regional director for 21 years. Today, I am a member of Mr. Kuda's organization, which is the Matsumura Kempo Okinawan Kempo and Karate and Kabuto Association, and I'm also the director of the United States Karate Dokai, an organization that registers rank for all authentic Okinawan and Japanese style systems. The present director of the Matsumura Kempo Okinawan Kempo Karate and Kabuto Association in the United States is Mr. Ronald Lindsay of Bastrop, Texas. I consider Mr. Lindsay one of the finest exponents of the empty hand system and probably the finest weapons teacher in the United States and one of the most knowledgeable. Underneath me, these are my black belts that are studying the same system that we're working with now. I hope that by giving you a small background of the Okinawan style system that I study, that you'll understand that even though the kata that I'm working today are worked by many other systems, they are very familiar and very similar. I just hope that through your acquiring this tape, that it will help you to further your study and understanding of the Okinawan empty hand katas. Thank you. Did all this in the lab like when you did. Pinyon kata are attributed to Apoy Tus. It's true that in 1905, 1907, he developed the 5 pinyons. The first 2 pinyons were said to have been brought to Okinawa by Bushimatsumura. At this time he called them Chonin kata, Chonin Shodan, and this is 1 and 2. In some of the Japanese systems, they've interchanged pinyon 1 and 2, where they want to run 2 for 1. The Japanese take the Okinawan pinyon 2 and call it pinyon 1. The first 2 primarily are the oldest, and the other 3 were developed after the year 1900. Pinyon Shodan. Pinyon Shodan, the hand mudra when it starts opens at the top, comes down into a double grab. You drive the technique up into a double block. Coming underneath in the bone, blocking down. You do the same thing to the opposite side while you're working. A little bit of body change with the left foot, pivot back. Protect the groin with the left hand as you turn. Block over the top of the kicking leg as you either kick underneath the kick coming or kick above it into the low stomach area. Drop down, stall. Spare hand block back here.
2 more times. Then coming forward, nuki take, solar plexus or throat, blocking out of the arm. Turning, same stall movements. 90 degrees off your line, 45, 90 degrees, 45. Turn, Shodan nuki, little block, punch second. Kick, groin high, punch, unified. Kick, groin high, punch, unified. Kick, groin high, block, cross the arms, blocking down. Turn into your opponent on the side, blocking Geidan uki down. 45 degrees, Jodan uki. Back, on line, 90, Geidan uki, Jodan uki. Back to Furodachi, in the Kata. The Bunkai and the interpretation of Kata are what you develop as insights to the Kata that you're doing. You have to realize that your feet are not folded in cement with the Kata when you're executing the interpretations. You can move all over with it. The idea is that Kata, taken in the first context where it's just movement and breath by itself, this is not true. It has to be a factor. In Pinyon 1, or all the Pinyons when they start, the hand mudra at the beginning of the Kata before, right after the bow, is palms up and down. This signifies, one interpretation signifies that the man is in front of me, and as he reaches with a 2-hand grab, I reach up with the palms up and grab the wrist, and I take him down, and here, down. From here, it could be he's out with a knee, my gate with a kick. This could be one. You could go to a single wrist lock in here, and striking down into the person. The idea of it is, though, it is not just a movement where it looks good. There is purpose for it, as all the movements in the Kata. You open the Kata up after this movement with a double block, high and low. He's got to hold my arm with his left hand. He's punching, I'm sorry, right here. He's punching with the left hand. As he punches, I come up in here, 1, from in here, 2, 3, down. Movement, it's like this. He punches with the right hand. Punches at the head with the left, down, punch, strike. He punches again with the right hand, up. He punches low with the left, down, punch, punch. All of these, now you can go to the face, head, or body, it doesn't matter where you strike. It's immaterial. He is here, and he grabs, he punches with the left hand. Okay. He grabs with the left hand on the wrist of the block. I take him down, step back, around, and down. Punch from in here. And then strike down. Works the same on the opposite side. The turning movement in the Kata after you're here, 1, 2, 3, there's a body change movement where you pull back. Well, turn around so it'll face you, we'll do it in this direction. Attacker is behind me. A little bit to the angle so you don't block it up. Attacker's behind me and I'm here, up in here, I strike and I'm here. I change the body position. In other words, his target is here. Say he's going to kick me in the middle of the back, or he's going to kick me in the groin. As he goes, starts towards me, my movement is a body change. 1, I protect the groin with his hand in here. 2, as he commits to me and comes closer to me, I block, down, up, and kick simultaneously. In here. Quickly, or done quickly, it would look like this. 1, up, in, down, punch. It could be any of these things. The important thing is that you protect the groin. Say he isn't going to kick, he's just going to punch. Then he's going to punch to the head up in here. He comes in like this. I body change, around, block, push, kick in here in the lower stomach. Set down with a block. Now, as I turn, we'll get back to the normal position here where I kicked out of here and I turn. As I turn in here and I strike, these toes start at the eye level, come down to the jaw level. Now they are ukis, that's what they're called, blocks. But they can be strikes also. Do it on the side. I'm turning out of this kick, and he punches at my head. Down in here with a block. Strike, 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 punch. Doesn't make any difference what I do. Out of here. This can be a strike in itself instead of a block. Up, drop, down, strike, jawline, collarbone. Could be a punch even if you want. It happens 3 times, okay? We'll go through this 3 times. Let's say that we have the first opponent and I block inside. I'm in here. I come forward and he steps away and hooks again and I block again too. From here, on this technique, I can turn up on the third one, strike in here with the third movement. The hand back here is not useless. It's used to work on the person. Okay, we're coming to my last movement where I go nuki take. Now in the kata it shows that I block underneath here to protect myself, strike the solar plexus, I can strike the throat, I can strike the eyes, it doesn't matter. Strike under the arm. The thing about it is I strike like this. This spare hand is here, he punches with the right hand, I'm up. He punches with the left hand underneath, I block down. From in here, huh? Take it down, push down, huh? That spare hand works for you in here. They say I hit him here like this, one. My next movement out of here is a turn with a stall. What do I want to do? Suppose I hit him here and I have him. And I've got him in here at one and I strike. I've hurt him. Next movement can be right in here, around, a throw. Boom, in here. See where I'm at. It can be interpreted as that. And there are many more interpretations. This is not limited to just these things. All right. Into the kata, we're down in here with the turns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next is a driving process, okay? My attacker is here. Turn around so you can pick it up a little better. We'll do it on an angle. Attacker is here. I've just struck out with my last one out in here. I'm coming back up the line with the 3 blocks and punches. He punches, I block. Punch, huh? Boom, hit him. Drive, huh? 3 times, follow through. The last one is a geidanuki. Okay, after I hit him and I come down on my last one out of my kick, I'm like this. The very old interpretation was grabbing the hair and breaking down. Or it can be, from here, the idea that I'm here, and as he reaches for me, huh? I am in here, I grab, break on the arm. Now, the last movement after I'm here and I turn, the last 4 movements are here. I'm around, I turn and I block. The next movement, remember, your feet are not in stone. I mean, I don't have to go right to this area. I have to execute that technique, which is a right foot forward and a right jodanuki. 2, up, break, in here. Same thing over here when I turn, my last 2, and break up. Finish in the form up. That is some of the Bunkai Pinyon Shodan. Like I said, there are many more. Thank you. Pinyon Nidan. him opening the double. Stepping out, driving the hammer fist down. Coming forward, driving your attacker back with the punch. Turning, blocking low, crossing up in here, blocking middle. Stepping and punching, driving. Come back down on the line, Naihanchi. 3 Jodanukis in succession. High blocks. Turning, low block, 90 degrees. High block, just like in number 1. Low block, high block. Turning back on line, blocking low. Driving 3 times. Punching, Seikenzuki, Seikenzuki, DI point, Seikenzuki. Turning, fitting with a block. Off the side, fitting with a catch block. Fitting with a catch block, and out 4 times. And back to Fuga. Into the Kata. You don't like the Shodan. Starts, like I said before, with the same double hand grab as it comes down. First movement is for your attacker to my left. I look. As I step out, I drive the hammer fist down on either arm that punches. It makes no difference. Now he can grab with that hand on the up in here. And what I do is I just straighten the arm out, punch and pull. It could be like this from in here. As I come out, break down, grab, punch, and pull. It could be from an arm grab when the hands are to the side. You can grab the sleeve. This is breaking technique as you break off 1, out, down, on a step, and punch, or just punch right off this position right here when I'm down. It could be tuite on the grab. When he's here on the wrist, he grabs from here. It's the same thing. 2 hands, 1 hand, it makes no difference. It's around, up, and down, in here. Pulling down, again with the wrist lock, down in here. Punching, down, into my opponent. Any of these things. A circular movement, okay? Coming out can be a block, or it can be a release from a grab. Makes no difference. On the other side, basically, from here, it's a low block. It can be on a punch, it can be on a kick. It makes no difference what it is. It can be on the kick coming. After the kick, here comes the punch. 1, grab, 2, break from in here. As I come up in here, and I step and punch, or I punch off this position, makes no difference. Next 3, anytime you advance with a blocking movement, it's usually a breaking movement. I'm in here, the attacker is in front of me, you come with a kick, I turn, block, he punches. I'm right in here, I go 1. Here I go, again, with these high blocks. And that's fair hands working all the time for me, all the way through. Punches with the other hand, grab, break, Third one, this could be a strike, as I come up in here. To signify that, even though it's a high block. Your turn in the bunkai, it could be used the same as number 1 with a low block and high block. Coming back around when you're driving, it's very simple. We'll work it from the opposite direction. We're here, you just turn and block, punch, kick, makes no difference what he's doing, and you drive in here. You drive forward. Step, as he moves away from you, you just follow him and drive. I'm off with the wrong hand, sorry. Back in here, 1. Step and drive. Step and drive. And then on the third with ki, when you're down in the end. The last one is a little different, and this has been changed. A lot of the systems work augmented Shodan now. In other words, when you're here on the third one, the ki is here, and I turn into my first movement, it's a block and a punch or a kick. It doesn't make any difference. And a lot of the systems, when they work, they block in here Shodan. Okay, the old method in here is a grab. Let's do it. It's easier to demonstrate on the hand than I'll do it on the foot. As I turn, he comes in as a catch. Again, this is tuite, wrist, as you're working. Thumbs in, up in here, up in here. Doesn't make any difference where you're working, Down, push down, in with the thumbs. It's a grab. The very dangerous thing is when the person comes high and steps in, and you drop down, and you're like this, underneath, and it's the same thing, And you grab, and you push down, pushing down, down to the floor, same way. The idea is the hands are here, and they fit. They fit just like it would fit on a forearm that would come in, just like this. Only they're down in front of the body, they're down in here. And you hit with the shoke, actually. You're striking here, and then you're grabbing, and you go for those nerve centers in the arm, up in here, and on the wrist, the same way. It's a little different, it's old, but it can be up high, it makes no difference. If you can punch with the right, left hand, be up in here, go like this, the same thing again. Same movement in here with the hands, down in here like that. It's a grabbing technique. It's blocking, grabbing, securing. Yes. Keep my feet in here.
Naihanchi Shodan. Naihanchi is the backbone of Okinawan karate. Kata, Mitus, Motobu. Naihanchi is a bushi kata. They have training forms and bushi forms. And bushi kata means it's a fighting form. It's just loaded with interpretations and jitsu. Naihanchi Shodan. Naihanchi Kata opens different than the peons. Up in here, in the mudra is different. The interpretation is different. I look to my side, step across, heel to toe, step out, drive the rich hand to the side. Pull the person in, strike empty, take, and look 45 degrees. Walk off the side of the body, looking 90 degrees, punch across. Step, heel to toe. Out, straighten the feet up. Block, single, Shodan. A few times you don't cross on the blocks. Double, Gedan, Shodan. Raken, up, to the middle of the body. Up, sweep, drive out, single, one block out. Up, sweep, drive across, single, one block across the body. Take, look, punch, to the side. Same sequence going the opposite direction. Ridge hand, empty, hold, look 45, look 90 and block, punch across the body. Heel to toe, out, straighten the toes up, Naihanchi Dachi, block one, drive, double block, back, fist into my attack. Up, sweep, drive out. Up, sweep, drive across. Teiyuki, look at my attacker, punch and kiai. Close the kata, Furodachi, and move. Some of the Bunkai and Naihanchi Kata, the fighting techniques of Naihanchi are, like I said, the basis of Okinawan karate, it's the essence of Okinawan karate. And the essence of Naihanchi are the body changes and the stances when you strike. It's also referred to as Naihanchi, Naihanchi. And this is just the Hogan dialect, the old dialect of Okinawa. So both katas are the same, Naihanchi, Naihanchi, they're the same. Kata starts as I am here, and he is back away from me, and I'm in a position here. I look and I see him coming. He can throw with either hand. One throw with the left first. I'm in my crossing position as I meet it, and I step out and I block. Now this could be a striking here also, along with a block in here. All right. From here, I can take the arm back again if I want to go to tuite. Okay. It's not called for in a kata, but it can be used that way. Another movement, if he punches with the right hand, okay? I can come across and block here, grab, and hit with the elbow as I come in. Hit with the elbow up in here. It makes no difference where I strike. If he's farther away and punches with the left hand, I'm sorry, hit with the right hand. This movement can be like this. One, I'm breaking in here. This coach toe. I come back in here and be worked up in here with an arm break. And I'm down, as I'm in here. And then from here,
hit up in here, okay? We use many ways. It's just a few. Primarily, though, it's a block and a net elbow smash. But the thing about it is, off the blocking hand, like if he throws the left hand again, I'm here, in, and strike, in, strike, in, strike. Grab, hit, grab, hit. And I gotta move. My feet are not stationary. I don't have to be right here when I do it. I can move all around when I hit here. Move out in here if I want to hit, all different directions. Okay, from here, after I hit, the turite comes. As I come to here and I look, this movement here is not just a preparatory position as taught in many systems. The thing about it is it can be the end of what I've done here. Say that he punches with the left hand, and I'm up like this and I break with this Koeppel Shodan. Instead of coming right here like this, I go bang and I break. As I am here, this movement that comes down into here can be this. One, grab, down into here, down alongside. Boom, in here, kick the knee, kick the body, punch, doesn't matter. If this movement here is not in itself just a movement of preparatory position to the next movement, usually when you come back in here, it just demonstrates that you're going to the side of the body or you're taking it back in here or here. And you work it over. That's those wrist and joint locks that they work so much on. Okay, so I'm in here anyway, and I'm like this. My next movement is for an attacker coming from this side. Now, he could be in front of my body. See, because this block comes all the way from here. It could be, I could be like this, and he could be attacking at an angle instead of off to the side. The Kata shows the movement all off to the side. But he could be in here like this, and it's just 1 and 2, in here like that. 1, 2, 1, 2 up in here. Let's take it away in the line of movement with the Kata, though. You're here. As you look, this technique has to come all the way and cover the body, the side of the body. 1, From in here, you grab, pull, punch across. That's why when you're off this block, you have to pull it to the side as you hit. As you're pulling into you. Same way if you punch with the other hand. Do the same thing. 1, grab, pull, punch, as you go across. Break down with the knee as you're in there. That's what those horse stances are for. It could be on the kick. You can kick with the right leg. I take a fast side of my body. As he comes down, I hit. Come in and hit on him. And this is protecting here. It's my spare hand block. If you come up with the left hand to the face, now it's down in here as I'm punching. It's down here in the Kata. Okay, now, the essence of the infighting. I'll do it sideways like we're going this way. I've just finished here and I've punched. I come across and he's here in front of me. He can punch with either hand, makes no difference. 1, I block. Second movement is a block and a punch. From in here, as he punches with the other hand, I can hold on to this one and break up. That's my second one right in here. It could be that movement. He punches with the right hand, the left hand. Up with the first one. 2, he punches. Punch. 3, here's that back fist coming. Now look where I am. After the back fist, it's a sweep and a strike out to the side. You notice my line of movement was here. See where I'm fighting? Naihanchi was not made to fight with your back against the wall. Somebody thought it sounded good and they came up with that. This was made to fight all ways in all directions. So I'm here. Let's go through that sequence one more time. Let me do it without you. I step across and I go in, block, 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 or block punch, up, and strike. Okay, let's do it with the opponent here. The infighting sequence is my attacker. Infighting sequence. I'm crossing. He picks me up and I block. 1, block and strike. 2, watch what happens here now. 1, here, No, it's not going to work that way on this particular one. I go, boom, bang, get back down. In other words, the technique looks like this. 1, 2, strike, up, down, It'd be that way. He's in front of me like this. I protect the groin. He seems the same sequence. Punch, punch, strike, I protect the groin. Up in here with the block. 1, step down, in here on the foot. Strike into him as I hit. Same thing again. Sequence. 1, 2, 3. Legs out in front. I pull it, but I don't sweep them all the way. 1. That was this one. 1. Drop. 2. Back in against the knee. Striking and getting back in again. Naihanchi is for when you're in tight and you're in fighting. And it doesn't mean that I have to fight him off of here, off of this stance, and I'm doing everything off of here. I can move around. In fact, I should body change a lot when I'm moving. Move those shoulders and hips in to get strength. These sweeps primarily, and that's what they're called when they teach them, are like this. I'm here, 1, 2, punch. He comes up and he kicks. I can sweep with the leg as I hit. Or I can block with the shin on the groin. Step down, strike, in here. Do the same thing with the other leg when he kicks. You kick with the other leg. 1, up, drop down, strike back in, strike in, strike here. He's over here. Different opponent. I've come in and I've went 1, 2, strike. Arm like this, say, up, in, Here he comes. He kicks. I block. He punches with that hand. In, Boom. Back down. This infighting is what it is. It's fighting inside your attacker. But you don't find them squared up and faced off like this and do everything like this. You're moving here, like this. The next movement in here, when you're done, and a lot of systems teach it, this is augmented Seiken. No, again, this is that spare hand. And it works for you. It works for you. Here's the way it works. Take the other side so they can get on the camera. I want you to know, stay there. The only thing I want you to do is, let me move around here. It's easier this way. Easier for me. Microphone. I'm like this, and I'm working on my attacker. This is Naihanchi body change. In the Kata, you're here, and you've come 1, and you've come up and out, and up and in. You pull down, and you strike out. Okay. This strike out is set up in a position where I'm like this to my opponent, just in a natural position like before. As he attacks, I Naihanchi body change to the side, move out of the way. Here's a spare hand block that punches up in front of the chest. Here's the other one right here. 1. And it's real quick and it's fast. Boom, bang, boom, right there. Here, 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 here. Anywhere I want to hit with it. And the idea is that this has got to work for me when I'm doing it, okay? So I'm here like this. 1, big, boom, straight here. 1. Where is that movement again? Here we go. 1, straighten, 2, break down, Then there again. Up in here though, it's not just a punch, punch. This works for you, this spare hand block. He is here. Boom. 1, right here. 2, fits, Anywhere you want it in here. Liver, solar plexus, throat, face, eyes, throat, armpit, wherever you're going to strike. And you can kick off of this also. The kick comes in, then chin block up. Here we go, chin block up. Down on the foot, And then back in, strike again. But look what I got him here. I've got him here not with a punch, but with a spare hand block. 2 kick. Coming in. 1. Boom, strike, Here we go again. Over, down, Here we got it. Right in here. Punch down, with that hand. Keep that arm straight, punch down when you're in there. Where does it come from? This movement right here. 1. The thing about it is that they found out that by pivoting the body and changing the position, first of all, with no hands as he punches his target, by turning it. That's the first thing. Where are we at? We're in Naihanchi now, right? Right here. Along with that, then, when you're done turning the body like that, I'm here. My arm in this position is longer than his is to get to me if it's off the side of my body. In other words, what I'm going to do in Mr. Stronger here is when he steps in, I'm going to step back and I'm going to stop him from coming because my arm's longer. Now, if he could get around to the side also, we'd be even. It's a way to stop the reverse punch from coming in on you. Kumite, 1. Right there, There's Naihanchi. Naihanchi body change. Spare hand, punch right there. That movement in the Kata. There's a whole system going on. This is how Mortar would fly. You twos, Go in here, body change, take the target away from your attacker, simultaneously striking the attacker with more length than he has on you. Naihanchi, as I said before, Naihanchi ni, Naihanchi san, there are more and more. But the essence of the Kata is this stance right here, this side face stance as you're working. Because all the way through it, when we're working the Kata, when we get to that single, double, back fist sequence of fighting, the thing about it is that you don't necessarily lock up to facing your opponent. It could be like this. 1. As he punches the second, there's 2 down in here. 3. Now I'm back in Naihanchi again, I'm sideways. See where I'm at in here? Spare hand down in here to block, his other hand comes up to block. 1, down, 3, I'm down in. Over, here we go again. Karate is not just kicking and punching, it's defeating your opponent through kicking, punching, breaking, pressure, locks, bars. And then all the time, whenever you take a person down with any type of tui take, when he comes in and he punches and you're here, okay? I can work it out here, it doesn't make any difference. I don't have to be inside of me to do it. I don't have to be inside before it make it work. Work it off this side. Same as the next body change up like this. 1. Here, I just go out a little farther. Here I am again. Anytime you take him down, back, in here, like this, The next movement is usually in here. Toe kick, up in the armpit, stomp with the heel, into the neck, into the face, into the thigh, with the toes. They hurt, really hurts. That is hurt. Yeah. So the thing about it is that I'm not using a lot of it. I'm not following with the kicks, but what I'm doing is applying pressure and leaning into that. That's when you apply the pressure, that's when you usually come with the kicks or another hand strike to finish your opponent off. Naihanchi Kata is the basis of some of the greatest karate do in Okinawa. Their practice of it, their development of the techniques in Naihanchi, especially for fighting, was the backbone of karate. And in our system, in the Matsumura Seito system, they teach Naihanchi Shodan very early. And it's a very difficult form to learn at this early stage and level. But the thing about it is they feel, I think, that over a period of time that we need this to keep going back to it. And it is probably one of the stalwarts of our system. I know it is. And many of the other styles use it also. I hope that the film that we have made today on the 3 kata was some of the Bunkai. And I say some of it because there's much more. There's much more can be developed. The idea of karate do, or karate ka, a person who practices karate, the idea of his advancing is his development and insights into the kata that he works. The more he can develop off of the techniques applied in the form, the more knowledgeable and the better he becomes. But they have to be realistic. I mean, and they have to work. And it's taking karate and kata out of the basis or the thought that it's nothing but just blocking and punching and kicking. Because there's much more to it. It is do, it is jitsu, it is combat. And that's what the kata represent, and that's why you have to work them and learn them and insert these interpretations.